Everybody has done some spring cleaning. That's that time of the year. We are going to talk about spring cleaning. Dear God, face. What in the world? All right, I'm just going to share my screen and stop my video. How about that? It's much better. And I have one screen tonight. Sorry, that's what I'm operating on. Much better to share that and look at that instead of me. So we're going to talk about spring cleaning the gut. So it's time for a gut check. We've had a lot of months of indulgence. I know, I'm guilty as the rest of you. So anything I'm talking about tonight, hello, yeah, me too. I'm just as guilty, and none of us are perfect, but it is time to clean out some of the toxins and the waste that we got going on in our body. So let's talk about getting healthy from the inside out. And I got somebody on with me that's been doing this for a while. So she's going to give you a firsthand report of how it's working for her. First, we got to do this little disclaimer. We're not medical professionals, unable to diagnose, treat medical conditions. Our advice has not been evaluated by the FDA. Blah, 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 blah. We can only tell you how things have worked for us. Please consult your doctor. You can read the rest. There we go. Your 30-day challenge, should you choose to accept it, is a 30-day cleanse and restore. So who's with me? Who wants to do this in April? I'm telling you, it goes against everything I want to do. Sometimes I want it, but then I'm like, ooh, cake. So why? First of all, why would you want to do a cleanse? Yeah, I eat pretty healthy, Some of you, may think everything is pretty good. I try. But there are many uncontrollable things that we have no control over. We come in contact with toxins all the time, but we can control what we put in and on our bodies. So what are your organs that detoxify you? Your liver is your biggie. That's the big hitter. Your kidneys, colon, skin, and lungs. Now, the liver, kidneys, and colon are the first lines of defense. Those are where we would like to detoxify, and that's where we need to detoxify. If you start to detoxify in your skin and your lungs, it means you've got some issues going on inside. We'll talk about that. So proper functioning of your liver and kidneys and your colon and minimizing your toxic load helps offset the things that are out of our control. So what's out of our control? Whatever when you're out walking the dog. Right now, it's pollen season, so that's out of our control, obviously. Chemicals, car exhaust, smoke, plastics, pesticides. We can control a little bit of pesticides based on what we're buying for food, but radiation, and most of our radiation comes from the sun. So we don't want to control that. We need the sun. So what are toxins? Look at this list. We're all coming in contact with these on a daily basis. One of the things we can control are our skincare products. This is something that I've become acutely aware of in the last 3 years. I've been using doTERRA for 3 years now, and I have switched to natural deodorants because the thing that struck me is I'm putting oils on my skin and I'm like, oh, these things are so cool. I am so absorbing these so quickly, and then you start to think, oh crap, what else am I absorbing quickly? You start to think, so all of my deodorant, I used to go to Bath and Body Works, slather myself with this artificially scented stuff. There are a lot of nasty chemicals in there. So we are putting things on our body, and our liver has to detoxify us from all of that stuff. So even things like your nonstick pans, medications, and stress. Stress is definitely a toxin, and it's a big one. So what is a toxin? Anything that causes stress to the body. What is toxic load? The volume of these substances that accumulate. So everything put together that builds up in our system. I am 54 years old. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of crud that's floating around in my body. Poor thing, I feel so sorry for it. And it places a huge burden on our organs of detoxification, going back to the liver and the kidneys and the colon. So what is your body going to do with this stuff? How is it going to get rid of it? Well, if your liver is overloaded and it can't eliminate it, it's going to store it in your fatty tissue. It's a protective thing, so your liver doesn't go into failure. But if you have a lot of fat around the middle, if you have a apple shape like I do, all those fats, those extra fat cells are typically filled with a lot of toxic waste. So how do we get those out of our fat cells and back in and through to our liver and get them out of our body so we can eliminate them? Even your fatty tissue in your brain can store toxins. That's scary. That is really scary. You just think about the implications of this. So let's figure out how are we going to get these toxins out of our tissues and back in so we can flush them away where they belong. So you have primary chimneys, which are your intestinal tract and your urinary system. So part of your intestinal tract is your liver. It is your main filter. It's filtering all the blood, and it's adding bile, and it's helping break down your food. If your liver is overloaded, and if your kidneys are overloaded and they cannot keep up, everything's backing up, can't keep up with the toxic overload, your body will resort to secondary chimneys, respiratory issues, respiratory issues, let's say seasonal threats. We got to be compliant here, sorry, I almost slipped. Skin issues, we'll just leave it at that. So a lot of people think, what can I apply for skin issues? You need to look at your gut, because all of these issues start in the gut. And I know it's contrary to what we normally think. So Marcy had a wonderful call a few weeks ago talking about gut bacteria and emotional health. But all your gut bacteria also regulates your immune system. So you think your gut's kind of important? Yeah, it's really important. Look at these numbers. Our bodies contain 10 times more microbes than human cells. We're basically a walking petri dish of all kinds of critters in us. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We're supposed to be. Your gut hosts between 500 and 2,000 different types of organisms. It's really kind of creepy when you think about it. 60 to 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. That's kind of huge. Gut bacteria secrete 90% of your body's neurotransmitter, serotonin. What is serotonin good for? It contributes to the feelings of well-being, happiness, regulation of mood, appetite, and sleep, as well as helping with memory and learning. Read that again, right here. So not only is 60 to 80% of your immune system, but your feelings of well-being and happiness. Are you feeling sluggish? Are you feeling cruddy? Do you seem to be more susceptible to seasonal threats? You think maybe we need to look at our guts for the answer. It's kind of contrary to what we've normally been taught, but it absolutely is really important. 100 trillion friends that you didn't know you had living and swimming around in there. So what can we do? I mean, it's kind of overwhelming to think about. What are we going to do? And we've all seen this. And if you're brand new, maybe you haven't. But look right down here. We have a foundation. Our oils and our products, they're way up here. Everything starts with a foundation of eating proper food. If you are putting cruddy fuel into your machine, you are going to get cruddy things out of your machine. With any type of machine, and your body is the most amazing machine there is. A healthy lifestyle is built on a foundation of nutrition, exercise, rest, limiting toxic exposure, informed self-care. Using essential oils is more effective when built on a foundation of a healthy style. Hello, I'm cheap. I am super cheapo. I don't want to waste my oils. I want to get the most benefit from my oils that I can. That means I need to clean myself up, clean up my diet. Proper diet is the foundation for all health. It all starts with food. Now, this is a book that I'm just about finished up with. My doctor actually recommended this book to me. I am not promoting, obviously diet is very important with this. I don't have a preference to what, well, I do have a preference. I shouldn't say that. I have a preference to the Whole30 diet, and it starts with food just because my doctor recommended it. Even if you decide not to do Whole30, this right here is the science behind why gluten is not going to work for you, why dairy is not going to work for you, what sugar is absolute poison. It is like drinking poison to your body. It's an excellent, excellent book. It's pretty technical, but I like that kind of stuff, and it really, really makes a lot of sense when you read it. So I highly recommend check it out at the library and read it for free. It's a great book. So here we have that foundation of eating right. Food is medicine. You can reverse disease, reverse symptoms, and you've got your healing. You have healthcare ease instead of dis-ease. So pick your path. Drugs and surgeries all come with side effects, and we've talked about that before. You take a medication for something, you're going to end up with a problem. You got to take another medication for it, and it's a vicious cycle. Let's solve this. Let's help our bodies deal with this. And you're thinking, no problem. I'm going to use my oils. I got these oils. I bought them. This is what they're for. They're going to help all these things. The antidote works better if you stop using the poison. So I think of it, someone gave me this analogy once, and it makes a lot of sense to me. I will not say that I always do it, but I do try. Using your oils for something is like taking a sip of antidote, and then if you're not changing your lifestyle, it's like taking a sip of the poison. I'll just take a little more of the poison, then I'll use a little more antidote. It's more important to get your body in optimal health first. Food you eat can be the safest, most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. That's incredibly profound to me. So where do we start? We all don't have a really healthy diet, I know. Not all the time, especially with Easter and Sunday. A lot of us are probably having a really unhealthy diet. If you are not on Lifelong Vitality supplements, I highly recommend that you get on them. They are absolutely amazing. It is doTERRA's #1 best-selling product. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they are absolutely essential for supporting healthy cellular function in your body. I mean, look at these. Health, clarity, more energy, healthy skin, healthy joint, cardiovascular health. They are absolutely amazing. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on them. We do have a lot of information out there about these, but they are really, really the basis and the foundation, and you do need to be using those through all these if you decide to do this cleanse. And even if you don't decide to do the cleanse, this is an excellent place to start. Maybe you're not in a place where you could do a cleanse right now. Start with a Lifelong Vitality. I recommend you don't start full force. There are 3 different supplements, and you're supposed to work your way up to 2 of each twice a day. I recommend you start with 1 a day of each. Some people have a little more issues with them than others, some little GI issues. I didn't seem to have a whole lot of problems with them, so I went all in, but I was also home all day, so we'll just leave it at that. So the second tier up on our pyramid is exercise. I hate exercise. I am the first one to tell you I hate it. I can't stand it. I'm just not an exerciser. I never have been. I probably never will be. But if you can just move and do something, I can go to the mall and walk around. Yeah, I can do that. We could all do something like that. Walk the dog. But you can't out-exercise a bad diet. So some people have the mindset, I'll just, I'll exercise and it'll make up. I can eat whatever I want. If you're having trouble with some energy, Mito2 Max is an amazing supplement. It will give you all kinds of energy. So if you're feeling sluggish, if you've got little ones that you're not getting as much sleep as you need, this is a great one to help you have a little more energy to exercise. So there's kind of a myth out there. If you exercise, it doesn't matter what you eat, but it does matter. Your body is 30% gym or 30% gym, 70% diet. So that's pretty profound, because you're not going to have the energy to do it anyway if you're not putting the proper fuel again. So the next one we got is rest and manage stress. We have a lot of oils to help with stress. We've got our new emotional aromatherapy set right there. I put a little Motivate on before I started, and I put a little Passion because I'm really passionate about these oils, and I love that oil. It just really helps me. I am a big culprit of not getting enough stress and not taking care of myself, and I am making this important this year. I am really trying to do more and get to bed earlier, and I do know that I'm less irritable and I do feel better. So stress oils right here, these are all excellent for that. Reduce your toxic load. Finally, we're getting into some products. So what are we going to use? 30-day renewal. And I'm going to show you where you can find the paperwork for all of this too, so you can print your own copy out. These are the products that we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to move a little bit quicker because I have a feeling I'm going to run out of time. I'm always long-winded. So if you go back and see, there's Zendocrine here, this white bottle, and then we've got Zendocrine oil, and if you go up here, we got Zendocrine soft gels. And a lot of people get really confused, and I was confused too until I read up on them more. So this is an herbal supplement, and it contains whole food nutrition. So this is something that we use in combination. There is no difference between the Zendocrine oil and the Zendocrine soft gels. The soft gels are just pre-made in a soft gel formula that you can swallow. Some people do like to use the Zendocrine oil. You can actually rub it over your liver to help detoxify topically too. So that's just the difference. Zendocrine oil contains a blend of tangerine, juniper berry, cilantro, geranium, and rosemary. If you look these up in your reference guide, you will see that they're all really, really good for stimulating detoxification and reducing oxidation in your body, and they help that liver and those organs release. So what we need to do first is we've got to clean out that liver. Once we get the liver clean, that's going to allow those fat cells to release those toxins back through the liver so we can get rid of all of it. The next one we got is Terrazyme. This is an amazing digestive enzyme. You're supposed to take this with every meal. I took it today. Felt phenomenal. I've been carrying it in my purse and trying to take it when I'm out and about and eating out. These are your digestive enzymes. They help break down your food. I have learned that I have a little bit of a gluten sensitivity. I'm not celiac, but I've learned that you get that feeling when you're eating gluten or you're eating a lot of bread, just bloated, and you feel sluggish and tired and nasty. That's how I feel when I eat a lot of bread. I've learned, kind of a cheat, that when I take a couple Terrazyme with it, I don't have that feeling. You're not nearly as bad. So that's kind of a little trick, but this is a good one to take. Again, you don't have to do the full cleanse to take Terrazyme. It's a really good one to have on hand. This is absolutely a cleanse one. I will be perfectly honest with you. I have never gotten this far in the cleanse. GX Assist is a hardcore. And I am going to go in and I am going to have Maria come on. And let me find her. There she is. I'm going to have Maria come on. She has been doing the cleanse for a little while. And I'm going to have her talk and tell you what her experience has been. Can anybody see her? It would help if I started the video there. Okay. Unmute yourself, Maria. Click your unmute button down on the corner.
It worked?
Yay, there you are.
Can you see me?
Yep. I can see a still shot of you.
Okay.
I'll mute myself, and you just give us an idea of what's going on in your cleanse and where you are.
It says you can't start your video because the host has disabled it. That's what it says. So I'm on day 22 of my cleanse. Is everybody hearing me okay? I think so.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. And it's been a real interesting experience for me. At first I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do all these pills. And if you had the camera, I would show you. I have them all in front of me, and it looks like it's a lot in a day. What I want to tell you that I really have enjoyed is how easy these pills slide down. They're easy to swallow pills. I'll do 3 or 4 at a time, so it's not as hard as you think. The first 3 days were the hardest, and I can so sorry about the video. Okay, and the first 3 days were the very hardest for me, but I think it was because I was tired and I was detoxifying. But what I've been doing is being very faithful to the program, trying to do the required amounts of everything that's on the cleanse. So I started out my day with the Terrazyme, and I move forward with all my vitamins, and especially incorporating the Zendocrine complex, which is the different than the Zendocrine soft gels. So one looks like oil, one doesn't. And then the GX Assist I started taking at the 10th day. And when I started taking it, boy, could you taste the oregano in it. And I really think that that was the bomb of really helping me. I had no trouble at Easter. And I know all of you are like, we just had Easter. And I'm like, I didn't even want chocolate. I'm like, a woman who doesn't want chocolate? I mean, wow, that's huge for me. Well, I just think that I've been doing it enough or long enough that didn't even come into my what sphere of thinking as being important. I actually was a little disappointed. My son wanted ham, and I'm like, oh, processed ham. I don't want processed ham. So, I mean, but I allowed myself a couple of cheats while I've been on the program, and I shouldn't call them treats. I call them treats because it's a different mindset. Let's see, I've been using lemon water faithfully in addition to this program. And I will tell you that I do a trim shake every morning, the Slim and Sassy trim shake. And I also have one control bar every day as well. The foods that I've been choosing, which I am not on a diet, I do not consider it a diet. Try to start my video now. Okay. Hi. I can see myself moving, so you must see me as well. So very good. So
yay! Thank you, Lindsay. She fixed the setting, something she had changed, and I couldn't do anything. So
it's all good. It's all good. So, anyways, thank you for having me on here. So I've been enjoying my. Let's see, I'm on day 22. I have now stopped my 10 days of the GX Assist, and I have incorporated the PV Assist. And I thought this was really strange that they were going to do one and take one away, but now I can see the logic of it all. This is a probiotic going to build up everything that I had just removed, been getting rid of, and so the probiotic is going to be a real important aspect, I think. So I am, some of you know who I am, some of you don't. I live in Alaska here, and I have 2 wild and crazy Australian Shepherd dogs that love to run. So I'm trying to tell myself to do more on the beach with giving them walks every day. And so that's been really huge. I also teach Zumba here. So exercise for me has been my crutch. It's almost the opposite of Sue. I give myself permission to eat too much because I do so much. So I tell myself, well, it's okay. You can have that because after all, you're going to go exercise for an hour. So Anyway, so I teach Zumba, and I am hardcore person that thinks movement is what helps me sleep better, what helps me want to drink more water. It all happens with my movement. And I encourage you all to go to a Zumba class. Try a gold class, not regular Zumba. Try gold to start out, and just see if that doesn't help you, because music is a fun way to get yourself moving. So the Slim and Sassy soft gels, I take 5 to 6 a day. And again, I'm really impressed with how easy these all slide down. So my Zendocrine, my Slim and Sassy gels, I invested into these soft gels. I was making them from the oil. I put 3 drops into a capsule and was swallowing them in the beginning, but I'm not anymore. So, and then lastly, I do very often use the Myotomax, and I definitely use the Deep Blue Complex to help me as well. So those are the supplements. This is, if I don't know if I point my camera down and see, there's like way too many pills here. I mean, it looks like overwhelming, but so what I did was I put a note at the toilet paper roll. I put a note there, and it says, did you take your pills? Did you? You know, because I have been taking half of the LLV for a long time before this program started. I was only taking half of the amount. Now I'm taking the full amount plus all the extras. So there's a lot to remember. And so if I could give you a suggestion, is to give yourself notes in places you know you're going to be standing or sitting. So.
I have a question, Maria. Do you have problems with toxic die-off symptoms, achy, fluish?
Day 3, the first 3 days, I definitely felt those feelings. And then I did have an experience, and I think it was the 4th day into the GX.
That's the hardcore. Uh-oh. She froze up. Are you still there?
I did that. I am here.
Okay. There you are. Yeah, we lost you for a couple seconds.
I'm here.
You said day 4. Day 4, what happened?
Yeah, so the day 4 of when I added the GX Assist, I did get a really bad case of cramping and sweating, and it was because I chose to have food I had eliminated from my diet. And what I've done with my diet is I've just tried to make it simple for myself, which is going to sound extreme and hard to the average person, but I just tell myself no whites, and try to look at the food and say, does it have sugar in it? Sugar is white. Is it get white? Does it get dairy in it? Is it a white potato? Then I'm going to skip it and go for the sweet potato.
Flour.
You know, white. There's exceptions. Yeah. I mean, there's almond milk, right? Exceptions, but in general, it's helping me have a healthier lifestyle without saying I'm on this diet that I'm going to go off of. I'm hoping that this is a lifestyle change where I just can weed out, look at the colors and say I'm looking for greens and reds and oranges as opposed to whites. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Did I tell you how much I lost?
Yes. How much weight have you lost?
So 9.5 pounds. I really wanted to say 10 pounds. I will next week say 10 pounds.
Awesome. That's excellent. And I wonder how much, did you measure your inches?
I did not measure before I started. I wish I had done that.
Are your clothes fitting looser?
Definitely looser, and I definitely feel way less bloated. So
yeah. Sleeping better at night and all of that, more energy.
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I feel like I was on a roll where I was gaining weight and kind of menopausal because I'm in my 50s. And boy, let me tell you, I feel much better. Like I have hope.
Yeah.
Like it's going the other way, it's going down. So
awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Share, you guys.
All right, Lindsay. Oh, I'm going to change her. All right, let's go back to share screen. I'm going to stop my video. Oh. All right, GX Assist. This is the hardcore. This is the Mac Daddy. This is the one that's going to go in there and get rid of the crud that is taking up lodging in there that doesn't belong there. You've all heard of Candida. Did you know? I just recently learned this. It's normal to have Candida in your gut. You want to. That's the yeast. We commonly hear of yeast infection. If you get an overgrowth, it can cause a lot of health issues. But did you know that Candida is in your gut for food, for the bacteria? We have to have bacteria in there to break your food down, which helps you break it down into manageable pieces so you absorb the things that you need to absorb and eliminate the things that your body doesn't want. If you kill out enough of the healthy bacteria that keep eating the Candida and keep it in check, the Candida is going to be overgrowing. It's kind of like if you eliminate hunting for deer, you're going to have a massive overgrowth of what you don't want. So that's just kind of an interesting thing. These oils are all, if you look them up in your product or your reference guide, you will see some common denominators with all of them. They will help improve the balance. So after we do this hardcore Mac Daddy GX Assist, well, why am I not? There we go. There's another one, Slim and Sassy. I'm going to tell you something. I'm fairly overweight. I am not been doing Slim and Sassy. One of the problems is I forget to take it during the day. I did happen to be out. I ate lunch out today. I have my little pill holder with me. I was reaching for some Terrazyme, and I have Slim and Sassy, and I took one. I ate late. It was probably 2:30. I literally forgot to eat dinner tonight, and I'm just now starting to get a little bit hungry. So it has to be that Slim and Sassy. I am definitely going to make that a more regular occurrence, even if I have to set an alarm on my phone. It is excellent for controlling appetite, managing your hunger. It's a metabolic blend, and it actually will help people gain weight if you need. So the oils are so miraculous. They go in and they will help your body do whatever it needs to do. If you need to lose, it's going to help you lose. If you need to gain, it's going to help you gain. And like Maria said, after you do the GX Assist, you clean all the bad stuff out of there. We're going to replace it. We're going to go in for 10 days of PB Assist and take it 10 days, 3 times a day, and we're going to replace that healthy bacteria. I know, overwhelming, too much info. Absolutely, I understand that. It's a lot to take in. Where do you start? What are you going to do? Start somewhere. Just start. Even if you are just up your water intake, become a heavy drinker like me. 40 ouncer, I pound those babies back. I usually put my lemon water or some wild orange. I really like spearmint in there. If you need a little flavor, try your oils for flavor. Cut out the soda. Cut out the useless, crazy, even diet soda is so horrible for you. Cut it out and switch to water. Even try sparkling water with lemon or lime in it. It's yum. If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? We get one chance at this. This is it. God gave you this home to live in. You need to take care of it. So spring is all about renewal. It's all about getting ready for new life. How about starting a new life and starting this? Eat well, move daily, hydrate often, sleep lots, love your body, and repeat for the rest of your life.